Well, hi guys, and welcome to the weekend video. It's Saturday night here in the west of Ireland, and I'll just do a quick update to kind of orientate you for the next week. All right, let's start with the euro dollar. I want to kind of concentrate on the alternate account here at the moment. I've shown a kind of a declining wedge here in wave 1. And a three-wave pattern, pretty clear three-wave pattern in wave 2, where we hit kind of a little bit of confusion is whether this move here off wave 2 is in fact wave 3, or is it another 1, 2? So have we got 1, 2, 3, 4, or have we got 1, 2, 1, 2 in a larger kind of expanding pattern? This should be cleared up pretty quickly, I think, at the start of next week. If we get a break of resistance there, 118.38 is what I've been talking about. Break of resistance 118.38 will kind of favor the alternate account here of 1, 2, 1, 2. I kind of proposed this wave 4 contracting triangle on Friday there, so that is also a possibility. Obviously, if you see the price range contracting into a wave E here, or wave E here, then a break, say, down below the B wave high there, or sorry, B wave low, then we'll know to kind of concentrate or keep our eyes on the operating count. So that's kind of where euro dollar stands at the moment. Both the preferred count, well, they're kind of 50-50 at the moment, but the preferred count and the alternate count are both kind of indicating a bearish setup at the moment. So early next week we should be able to figure out which of these is most fitting, the best fit, let's say, for the market. Well, let's move on to pound dollar. All right, well, we've got a lovely kind of a really nice developing or pretty complete impulse structure to the downside, and I think this kind of latest interpretation is probably the best. A nice 5-wave pattern. Whether this is at the right degree or not is up for debate. It could be at the bracket labels here, may even fit better, who knows. But for now, we'll go for the minor degree here. 1 wave 2 is a kind of this. I begin to kind of see this as a running flat. So you had an A, B, which dropped to a new low, and then a C, which ended before the high of wave A there. So impulse wave down, running flat wave 2, and then an extended wave 3. A nice kind of probably just a normal complex flat here, probably in wave 4, and then a nice impulse structure to finish in wave 5, probably 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 to finish wave 5, and with a little bounce on Friday there. This 5th wave kind of caught me out. I had thought that it was probably finished, at the trend line there, but it dipped below the trend line on Thursday and Friday. So I think we're probably near the lows now of what we'll see. And next week we'll probably, whether it's early next week or the middle of next week, we'll probably see a rebound rally, a kind of corrective rally into wave 2. I was pointing out here, this 132 area here is where on the 4-hour chart we see the 200 period moving average on the 4-hour chart. That sits at about 132 at the moment. You can see it right there. 132, pretty much bang on. So that would be the initial kind of resistance area. I think wave 2 should probably pop higher than that. 50% retracement is right now, if this is the low, 50% retracement is 133.41. So we have a kind of a band of a target range there, and the previous 4th wave is in there as well. So for next week, that's what I'm kind of looking for, is a 3-wave corrective rally up into resistance. to complete a wave 1 down and wave 2 up, and a pretty bearish signal, Elliott wave signal going forward, right? So let's get on to dollar yen. I think this is the quickest video I've ever done. I think late Saturday night is probably the time to do this, because I won't be, you know, I don't have the energy to chatter on forever. So, okay. Dollar yen, yeah, this has kind of been updated throughout the week as well. I moved to the alternate labeling on, was it Thursday or Friday? I can't remember. I think it probably fits, it was going that way, let's say. It fits the structure a little bit better. We had this kind of extended sideways correction here, which didn't really fit with the lower degree labeling that I had on it. So right now, you might even argue that there's a higher degree impulse wave happening here, but I think right now we're in the ballpark of what's actually happening here. This, what I'll be watching for next week is this impulse wave up in wave 1 and a correction in wave. It's a real complex correction, and it's probably going to turn out to be a triple combination. And we have wave C here to finish. So we have A, B, and C. A was probably a kind of it might have been a declining wedge. So 5, 3, and 5 maybe. Let's see how that works out. It's impossible to know right now. Definitely a flat correction here in wave B. You can see that's what caused the kind of extended kind of sideways action. So we had this A, B, and C in wave B. It sits nicely within this nice parallel trend channel. It's a flat correction. It barely makes any move to the upside, and it finishes with a spike right back down into the previous price range. So for possibly overnight, Sunday night, Monday, we might see a 5-wave correction here in wave C. Let's see how that works out. So I want it would be ideal to see this correction finishing before support here, and then the whole labeling from the low remains intact. So for Monday, a little dip into finish wave C of 2, and then we should probably head up in the wave count is calling for a probably extended rally in wave 3 green to the upside. Right. Rolling through it here. This is the Dow. This is the most terrifying and most interesting and most exciting market at the moment. Terrifying in the fact that we're completing an impulse wave at 6 degrees here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, and another degree higher here as well. I don't have the monthly chart here at the moment, so to be able to show you that. But anyway, at least 6 degrees. The rally of this this contraction triangle, which we had caught perfectly off wave 4, has now completed 1, 2, 3, 4, and we're in wave 5, and wave 5 is completing 1, 2, 3, 4. Another pop up to complete 5 of 5 of 5 of 5 of 5 of 5 of 5. God, when you say it like that, listen to yourself. It's lunacy. So right now we're probably looking at least a break of the previous all-time high, which was this again. If I need to say it again, this chart is not the cash. This is a derivative chart. So this is a CFD, I think. So the all-time high was in around the 780, 22,780 area. We'll get a pop above that again to complete this wave 5 blue, and that will complete, in theory, that will complete a very, very large impulse rally. So next week, I think we'll see the top in the Dow, and don't take my word for it, but I have a sneaking suspicion that we will begin to move down quite impulsively off that 22,800 area if we make it. The upper trend line obviously is the first area of resistance to look at. So this higher target here is given by, I'll go to the 4-hour chart. The higher target is given by, if you see wave 1 here, it's 161.8 Fibonacci extension of wave 1. So 161.8% of wave 1 gives you wave 5 at 22,850 or so. So that's where that came from. So for next week, we're looking for a slight new high and then the beginning of an impulse structure to the downside. And, if I'm correct on this one, the beginning of the latest and newest and probably most devastating bear market we'll ever live through. Okay, on to gold. So gold saw a correction into 1263, which was the 61.8% retracement of the previous wave 1. So wave 2, the low was at 1261, was the low that we reached on Friday, and off that low we had a nice bounce to the upside again, which popped above previous lows. So we may be seeing the beginning of the rally in wave 3, which I'm expecting should come in pretty soon. So what I'll be looking for first is a completion of these 5 waves up in pink here, which completes, and then a 3-wave correction. So we get that kind of impulse rally and corrective move off that high. First a break of 1290, impulse rally and a correction to a higher low. Then we're looking at a pretty bullish signal in gold. So that should happen over the course of next week. Let's get on to crude oil. So on Friday there, crude oil, we were looking at completion of wave 1 and 2 off last week. And that rally in wave 2 on Thursday, I believe it was Thursday evening, it was a very impulsive looking rally, but I think that impulse wave was a wave C of 3 waves in wave 2. So we had an A, B, and C. It was probably classes as a flat correction, as 3 waves up, 3 waves down, and 5 in C. I know it doesn't look flat, but that's the kind of classification you'd call. So off that high, we were looking for a lower high, and we got a very impulsive, we got the creation of the lower high below the trend line, and a very impulsive move down into Friday's lows, which brought the market down to 49. It didn't pop below 49, so we finished at about 49.40. So you can see there on Friday this the range started to contract, so we might be looking at a 4th wave within wave 1 gray. So we're looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So for Monday, a completion of this 4th wave and possibly a dip below the wave 3 low there to complete that first wave 1, and then corrective rally again in wave 2, and then we'll be hitting wave 3 of 3. So over the next week or so, we're looking at corrective rally and then an impulse move to the downside again, which should carry the market. Let's see, onto the 4-hour chart here. I think we had a target. No, we don't. Let's see if I can condense that a little bit. Yeah, we have, if wave 3 brown, so we're looking at wave 1 brown, wave 2 brown, wave 3 brown. If wave 3 brown reaches the Fibonacci extension of 161.8, which is kind of an average for the ratio between wave 1 and wave 3, then we're looking at 46, the low 46s for a target for wave 3. And if you want to draw that off the high, that'll be wave 1, 2, and 3 to the downside. So from here on, we could be looking at, a bad time ahead for the oil companies. So we'll see how this one develops next week. So that is it. That's the quickest video I think I've ever done. And thanks for watching. We'll catch up with you on Monday evening and see how the day on Monday went. It looks like it's going to be a pretty exciting and terrifying week, as I said, for the Dow. You'll hear the media kind of lauding the robustness of the stock markets, and how prescient they are, the way that they can calculate in, take all the risks and still calculate a bullish scenario for the US economy and the worldwide economy, really, when you think about it. US markets is really a barometer for the Western world. If you're looking at it, that's probably the best way to look at it. Is it's a barometer for the economic well-being of the Western world. So we're heading into exciting times here. So as I've said before, time to prepare. Anyway, we'll try and do a bit more preparing next week. We'll talk to you then. Thanks for listening. Have a great weekend, and see you Monday.